Honorable Men Discord. Anthony Edwards doesn't want the throne. Let's talk about it. All right, gentlemen, let's talk sports for a moment. This weekend was the All-Star weekend for the NBA. And there's a lot of mixed feelings about the All-Star weekend. But one thing that stands out is there's a lot of people who are not happy with the All-Star weekend. And way before the All-Star weekend took place, there's been a lot of people complaining about the NBA as a whole, as far as the gameplay. Not enough passion. Doesn't seem like the players are motivated. And why is that? I can tell you why that is. Too much money too soon. Think about it. For us 9-to-5ers, what motivates us is we're not content with where we are financially. So you work harder. You study more so you can get certificates. And all of that is done because you're looking to increase your money, increase the payout. So what's going on in the NBA? All right, excuse the tears because it's very windy out here. What's going on in the NBA right now is a bunch of prima donnas who were given the check too early, and so now that they don't feel like playing hard. They're not motivated. They don't have motivation to play hard. So let me get back to Anthony Edwards. A reporter asked him if he'd like to be the face of the league. And Anthony Edwards pretty much said he doesn't want to be the face of the league. And he spoke on the kid from San Antonio Spurs that came from Paris or France. I can't even pronounce his name. You know who he is. All right, the player's name is Wemby. They call him Wemby for short. So Anthony Edwards does not want to be the face of the league. And I saw an episode with Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe. And Shannon Sharpe basically defended what Anthony Edwards had to say because he looks at it like this. If the kid doesn't want to be the face of the NBA, he has the right to express that. So Shannon Sharpe sided with Anthony Edwards. Stephen A. Smith disagreed with that stance. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a little bit on the fence with it. I'm a little bit on the fence because as an adult, obviously, Anthony Edwards has the right to say whether or not he wants to be the face of the league or not. But when we're talking about someone who, when they were in the playoffs, when they still had Anthony Towns, it seemed like he wanted to be known as that guy, which to me is pretty much the same thing. If you want to be that guy, I would assume you want the entire league and the fans of the league to know to keep all your eyes on me when you want to be that guy. Now, the comment he just made this past weekend sounds like he just wants to just blend in. That does not sound like a starter. That does not sound like a superstar that would make a comment like that. If you just want to blend in, I guess that's fine. I don't agree with it. I guess that's fine, but that's not something I don't think any professional player should be saying out loud. He could have found another way to articulate that, but he didn't. He wanted to deflect and say that's what Wemby's for. Let me tell you something right now, people. I don't care what sport, what professional sport you play for. I don't think you should ever deflect and talk about another player. I'm gonna speak for myself. You know I always do. I always incorporate myself with some of the topics, unintentionally. But in this case, If I was ever to be a professional basketball player, I would never deflect and talk about somebody else, especially when they're asking me if I'd like to be the face. At most, I would say I leave that to the fans. Anthony Edwards could have said that. He could have said, I leave that to the fans. Let the fans be the judge of who the face is. But no, he decided to say he doesn't want to be the face, and that's what Wemby's for. Listen, I just got that man's jersey, I want to say last year, and I'm not saying I'm going to burn the jersey. I'm still a fan. But damn, what's wrong with these players of today? Gone are the days of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. It's just disgusting. I don't know what to think about this. I don't know if many of you agree with Anthony Edwards, but if you do, I'd definitely like to hear your comments. But I disagree with him. I mean, this is a perfect example of these young guys getting a super large payout and then feeling like, I don't want to be the face. I just want to show up, kill on the court, and go home. Doesn't even sound like he hasn't even mentioned, he could have mentioned, I'm just concentrating on winning a chip. Let me get there first. He didn't even say that. He sounds like he just wants to play basketball, show up and go home. That does not sound like your starting superstar for your franchise. I'm disgusted by that comment. But if you didn't see that clip, take a look at this.
Your sneaker flying off the shelves. Everyone, you hear the fans. I saw you last night and people crowd you. We understand the attention you're getting now. But we also heard you say, I don't know if I necessarily want to be the face of the league. That's what they have Wemby for.
Yeah.
Why do you feel that way?
I mean, because there's a lot you gotta wear on your shoulders and put this image on, and I just never been that type of guy, He's been on me for a long time.
Wait a minute. Stop talking. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. You can and will be that guy.
Well, I'm capable of being that guy,
go.
but I don't want to be that guy. Put it like that. I want to be the guy to just show up and hoop and just kill dudes and go home.
Tell us why not.
Like I said, because there's a lot you got to wear on your shoulders. I don't want to be that guy that try to wear this perfect image. I want to be able to, live. You know how I am. I don't want to cause no trouble or get in no trouble, but I want to be able to live my life as who I am. I don't want to try to be something I'm not.
So Anthony Edwards does not want to be the face of the league. And to me, that just pretty much sums up the NBA and the gameplay of today. Now, for those who are actually playing hard, forgive me for saying that about the league, but I believe that Anthony Edwards represents a huge populace of players who are just flat out not motivated anymore to play basketball, but will gladly take the contracts that they're receiving. I really don't know what to say about today's league. It's funny. From time to time, I have conversations with my cousin, and he really tries to convince me that today's league is superior over the basketball I was raised on, that today's league is better than the 90s basketball, which I completely disagree with him. He takes shots at Michael Jordan because he's a Kobe fan, which is just ridiculous because everybody knows Kobe got his game from Mike. You can say he had an enhanced three-point jump shot over Mike. You can say whatever you want to say about it, but we all know Kobe mirrored his game after Mike. But I'm not going to go into that. Rest in peace, Kobe. One thing that my cousin would say is that today's league is superior, more competition, bigger, stronger, faster. And I'm like, all right, bigger. I don't know about bigger. Are they taller? Absolutely. These guys are lengthy and tall for no reason. It's probably because of all the what do you call it? All the things they put into the vegetables and the food that they're eating. So it's making these superhuman looking young men. But can I say they're stronger? I don't know about stronger. It's definitely not a more physical game than the 90s basketball I was raised on. And then, oftentimes people will take shots at Mike because they're like, oh, who was Mike's competition when he was playing? He didn't have no real competition like LeBron's competition of today. And I don't like that argument because first and foremost, they were all professional players, so give them their respect. Second of all, you can't blame a player for the era he was in. Now, if you don't think that the 90s basketball was good, you can't blame Mike for that. Mike showed up when he showed up. Mike didn't have, listen, if Mike had the opportunity, he probably would want to play in this league just to prove a point. And I think he would prove that point, that he's the greatest. If you really want to know the real problem with today's league, it's the lack of passion. It is the money. Too much money too soon. It's also the lack of passion. See, the basketball of yesterday that I was raised on in the 90s, before anything else, these guys had a true passion for the game. It mattered to them. Yes, the money mattered, but what mattered most is that people respected them when they showed up on that court. And these guys would go out there, give it their all, literally. They demanded respect. And they also understood, to make a name, I had to show up every time I stepped on the court against the best of whatever team they were matched up against. This era, I've heard people mention that I also agree with, this era has too many friends. Everybody's way too friendly. And I know that's kind of sounds ignorant to say that, but when you're talking about competitive sports, when it's game time, there's no time to be friends. And I think a lot of these players, they take it easy on each other because they spend a lot of time with each other outside of the game. You know, from the Draymond with LeBron and so on and so forth. But because they have these friendships, when they're matched up against certain teams, I don't believe they give it their all. And maybe they do, I could be wrong. But I don't remember players of the 90s being this friendly when they stepped on the court. Now, maybe they did have friendships outside of basketball that I didn't recognize at that time, but when they showed up on that court, it was game time. And that's one of the big differences that I noticed right away. As always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in to my content. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll be back on the next episode. Take care.